Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're at the Weeting Steam Rally. This video is part 1 from Weeting Steam Rally with us focusing on the work and demonstration side of the show. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't on our side on the Saturday, so there was no combining in this video, but we will take a look around them as there was some rare exhibits on show. We start things off in the combining field where we see this John Deere CTS. These have been built between 1997 and 2007, with the earlier model being built between 1997 and 2001. The later model was built between 2004 and 2007. This particular example is the earlier model. We think this one may have been a German import because of the serial number plate. The writing looks German to us. This one has been supplied by Evergreen Tractors Limited. Following on from the John Deere Combine, we move on to some tractors. The first being this Fordson Model F with a ride-on cultivator. The Fordson Model F were built between 1917 and 1928. Next up, we have what I believe is a case. I'm not too sure on the model number, perhaps you can let us know in the comments below. Walking further down the field, we have this original looking International 276. These were built between 1966 and 1971. Behind the International, we have this International B46 baler. These were built from 1959, and I think the two make a nice pairing. Next up, we've got this very nice outfit. First off, we have the Fordson E27N with a bale loader, and at the back is this Ferguson 3-ton trailer. These 3-ton trailers were built from 1950. Unfortunately, there were some starting issues with this Fordson N with the Henderson trencher, so we got no footage of it, but it was very nice to see out anyway, and looked like it had been working on the Friday. Being used as an anchor was this Fordson Power Major. These were built between 1958 and 1961. This Power Major was coupled up with a Perry loader. Moving on to our second combine, we have this 1956 Massey Harris 935 bagger combine. Due to the weather, this one was sheeted up, but I'm sure we'll see it working one day. Our third combine is this Ramson Super Cavalier. Real shame not to see this one working, however these were built between 1974 and 1976. Moving back to balers, we have this Alice Chalmers round baler. These were called roto balers. How these things work are quite interesting, and hopefully next month we will see something like this working. The roto balers were produced from 1947 to 1964. Our fourth combine, this one being a Massey Harris 726. The Massey Harris 726 were built between 1956 and 1958. This one looks very patina in its original clothes. It even still has its serial number plate. The Massey Harris 726 came with a 6-cylinder petrol Austin engine rated at 56 horsepower. Next up, we have this Fordson Major with the first of the trailed combines. You can just make out that it's an Alice Chalmers trailed combine, but once again we're not sure what model. Perhaps you can let us know in the comments below. The remaining straw does come out the side and it looks like it's powered by an Alice Chalmers Model B engine. Moving on, we have an International B275 coupled up with another trailed combine. We're not sure what this could be, possibly a Massey Harris or Alice Chalmers? If you do know, let us know in the comments below. Back with another combine, this one being the fifth one. This one being a Massey Ferguson 780 Special. These were built between 1953 and 1962. This particular example looked like it had been restored over the last couple of years. These combines came with a 4-cylinder engine producing 56 horsepower. It still had its tax list from 1968, which most likely was the last time it was ever used on the road. Moving on from the combines, we have this Ford 4000. These were built between 1962 and 1975, this example being supplied by a fairly local dealer to the show. On the back of the 4000 was the only binder at the show. This particular binder was made by Lanz. I was not aware Lanz made binders, but looks like it was supplied by a company from Spalding. We're now at the local Envitech Group stand, and we start off with this Massey Ferguson 690. This example looks original and still has its original dealer sticker. These were built between 1983 and 1986. Next up, we have this Nuffield Universal 3. This example has its dealer plate being supplied by Stowmarket. The Nuffield Universal 3 were built between 1957 and 1961. The Nuffield was in prime position to run the thresher, but the weather just wasn't on our side. We're now at the road making section. Not much was going on, however we catch up with this agricultural borrel working on the stone crusher. Next up, we have this Muriel LH1 loader, nicely restored example. Production started on these in 1951. Moving on to the wood sawing section, and in front there were two steam stationary engines. I believe these may have been steam pumps back in their day. Unfortunately, I have no information on these engines, but they look to be working very well. Following on from the steam engine pumps, we have this Borrow agricultural engine working on a push saw bench. We move on to where the action was, the ploughing and working section, although not much going on, but there was still stuff moving. We first come up with this Caterpillar D4 working with an offset dazzle plough. The Caterpillar D4 were built between 1959 and 1963. We now move on to steam ploughing and steam cultivating. When we got a chance to capture footage, the ploughing team was stopped due to the rain, however the cultivating team was still playing. This brings part 1 from Weeting to an end. However, if you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. We hope to capture you all next week back at Weeting as we look through the static tractors and the steam parade. We hope to see you all next week at 7 PM.